Welcome back to Chronos Quality. So far, we have built a strong operational framework. We structured governance. We established execution through sprints. We created decision rhythm through weekly meetings. But now we face a critical challenge. How do we decide what should actually be improved? Because execution without prioritization is simply movement. And movement without strategic direction creates wasted effort. This is one of the most common mistakes in continuous improvement. Actions are often selected based on visibility, urgency, individual opinion, or isolated complaints. And while these factors may sometimes point to real issues, they rarely create systemic progress, because improvement becomes reactive, not strategic. Before deciding what to improve, we must understand where the real gaps are. This requires diagnosis, not assumptions, not impressions, not isolated observations. A structured diagnosis. Because without diagnostic clarity, prioritization becomes weak. And weak prioritization compromises execution. In the Chronos quality methodology, diagnosis is organized by operational cell. Each cell is treated as a functional environment. This creates several advantages. It localizes issues. It increases accountability. It improves visibility. And it allows improvement to be structured in manageable units. Instead of treating the organization as one large problem, we divide complexity into strategic operational segments. Large systems are difficult to improve when viewed globally. But when broken into cells, complexity becomes manageable. Each cell can be evaluated individually. Each cell can reveal specific weaknesses, behavioral issues, standardization gaps, visual management failures, and sustainability risks. This creates actionable intelligence. Many organizations already conduct audits. But audits alone are not enough. Because an audit can generate data without generating strategic direction. The key is transforming audit findings into backlog intelligence. This is the difference between evaluation and operational strategy. The backlog is a structured list of improvement opportunities. But not just a list. A prioritized system of actions. It consolidates identified issues, improvement opportunities, corrective actions, standardization needs, and future priorities. This transforms scattered observations into an organized execution pipeline. One of the biggest advantages of the backlog is continuity. Without it, problems are often forgotten. Issues disappear from attention. Repeated failures emerge. Progress becomes inconsistent. But with a backlog, the system remembers. And what the system remembers can be prioritized and executed. Once diagnostic gaps are identified, visibility becomes essential. Leadership and teams must clearly understand: what are the biggest risks? What creates the highest impact? What blocks sustainability? What can be addressed quickly? What requires structural effort? This visibility is what transforms backlog into strategic value. Not every backlog item is equal. Some actions are immediate and tactical. Others are structural and strategic. This distinction matters, because if all actions are treated equally, execution becomes chaotic. A mature backlog distinguishes quick wins, structural fixes, behavioral improvements, and systemic priorities. Another critical risk is backlog inflation. When every issue becomes a priority, nothing is truly prioritized. This is dangerous, because overloaded backlogs create paralysis. The objective is not to capture everything. The objective is to capture what matters most. The backlog is not a storage system. It is an execution system. It exists to feed future sprints. This creates continuity. Diagnosis, backlog, prioritization, sprint review. This cycle is one of the most powerful elements of the methodology because it transforms improvement into a living operational system. By structuring diagnosis this way, leadership decisions become stronger. Instead of relying on perception, decisions rely on evidence. This improves resource allocation, risk management, execution efficiency, and strategic focus. Structured diagnostics also improve engagement because teams see their challenges are recognized, their issues are documented, their priorities are visible, and progress is systematic. This reduces frustration and increases trust in the process. Over time, backlog maturity creates another advantage. Prediction. Patterns begin to emerge. Recurring weaknesses become visible. High-risk cells become easier to identify. And leadership moves from reacting to proactively managing systemic weaknesses. This is a major maturity shift. Now that we know how to identify and structure improvement opportunities, the next challenge becomes even more important. How do we choose what enters the next sprint? Because not everything can be done at once. And this is where intelligent prioritization becomes essential. In the next video, we will explore exactly that. How to select the right actions at the right time for maximum impact. Because at the end of the day, improvement is not about doing everything. It is about understanding what matters most and building a system that ensures it gets done. If you want to transform diagnostics into real strategic execution, subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and continue this series. And let me ask you something. In your organization, are audits generating reports or building real improvement pipelines? Share your thoughts in the comments. See you later.